So welcome to the very first class in the road to 750. So right now we're trying to gear up and get ready for the new year 2025. So we're doing a 90-day challenge to get to our credit goals. So like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys any further. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I just wanted to say a little bit about myself. So who is D Rich? I'm a serial entrepreneur. I am also your business and credit bestie. I help everyday people build and repair their credit and guarantee personal and business credit pools of $20,000. So a little bit about me. I've actually been in the credit repair industry since 2017. I only just operated via word of mouth. So I just now started really popping on Instagram, popping on Facebook, talking more about what I do and offering my services to more than just family and friends. So a little bit more about me. I started my very first business in 2016, and in that business, I tried to fund my business with a credit card with no plan, and I slid right into debt. Okay, I slid right into debt. And before I knew it, I had 2 charge-offs and I seen myself with a 436. So I did reach out to a actual credit repair agent and try to get them to help me, but I got scammed. So after I got scammed, I didn't have no more money to lose. So I went on a deep and I started learning more about credit. And in 90 days, I went from that 436 to a 780. So after that, I started helping out my family. I started helping out my friends with their credit. And then just through that, just being a business owner, I seen a lot of hiccups. So not just with getting credit, but expanding my business, getting a website, doing marketing. I just seen a lot of things go wrong. I made a lot of mistakes. I shopped in a lot of the wrong places. So now I try to offer my services as a one-stop shop for all business owners. So I consider myself the business and credit bestie. Okay. So for my business owners out there, or even my parents out there, what would you do if $1,000 fell into your lap right now? So drop it in the comments. If $1,000 fell into your lap right now, what would you do? Would you go shopping? Would you pay your bills up? What would you do? So I'm asking that because basically that's what a 0% interest loan credit or a credit card is. It's somebody giving you the bag and they're giving you a year to pay it off. So I'm saying that because I use credit to leverage the lifestyle that I have now. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my movement, which is the Rich Boss Lifestyle movement. And it's more than just financial success. So to me, it's all about creating a life that works for you with the freedom that you need. If you're not the type of person that wants to work a 9 to 5, if you're the type of person that wants financial freedom, whether it means, $50,000 in the bank, $200,000 in the bank, or just someone simple like me who just wants to be able to swipe their card and know that it's going to be green, that is what the movement is about. So it's about making intentional daily choices that move you closer to your dreams. It's about embracing resilience and finding joy in your journey and just building a lifestyle of fulfillment for you. So like I said, it's about taking small steps every day to get to where you want to be. And we are doing that now with our 90-day challenge. So let's keep going. What can credit do for you? Okay. So credit is not just a number, it's a key. It is a key that opens many doors, okay? It could be the key to open up a door to a new Lamborghini, the key to open up a door to the 2024 or 2025 dream car, okay? So it can unlock better rates, better living conditions, and better opportunities. So a 750 credit score can change all the difference in what's needed in an APR. So that can change from a 4% all the way up to an 8%. So that's what I was saying. So it can also impact your ability to finance a major purchase. So if you, like I said, if you want to get a house, you want to get a car, you want to fund your business, that's when credit will be key. You can also use that to invest in yourself and again, improve your living conditions. So, in a nutshell, good credit means lower interest rates on mortgages, car, lower interest rates on loans, and just so much more. So again, imagine upgrading your car, moving into your dream house, or even taking a good luxury vacation, all with the swipe of the card. That becomes real when you get in the 700. So my slogan is 700, you in the dough. Okay. So let's talk about some common misconceptions and credit card myths. So, myth number 1, disputing a debt makes it go away. Number 2, closing an account improves your credit score. Number 3, you can't repair your credit yourself. And number 4, credit repair is illegal. And last but not least, paying off collections will always remove it from your report. So if you heard any of these, drop an ear or something in the comments. Let me know if you heard any of these myths. So we're gonna go. So disputing a debt does not automatically invalidate the debt. It blocks it from your credit report. That's myth number 1. Number 2, closing an account can actually damage your score. Your account age history is something that we're going to talk about later in your credit mix, and that is very important. So once you close an account, you're now impacting your average age. You can't repair your credit yourself. I'm literally telling you how I repair my credit in 90 days and how you can do the same, and I'm giving you key by key. So who said you can't? Credit repair is illegal. No, it's not. If it was illegal, we would not have so many FCRA laws on our belt or behind our back to help us and equip us with getting these things removed. And number 5, paying off a collection will always remove it from your report. Paying off your collection will not remove it from your report. A collection can stay on your report for up to 7 years, whether you pay it off or not. So let's keep going. Let's talk about the mistakes. So we're going to breeze by this because I know I go into a lot more detail of each in my ebook that's also free. So if you don't have that, again, look through the tools in the group, or you can go on my website and find it. Or lastly, you can click the link in my bio under ebooks and it'll be there waiting for you, okay? So, number 1. The number 1 mistake is ignoring the errors on your report, okay? It's not nobody's job to make sure your credit report is up to date but you. The people at the CRAs, the credit reporting agencies, go to work and punch the clock just like you do. Sometimes you do your job really good and some days you don't, okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that. There are many errors waiting on your report once you open your eyes and learn how to recognize it, but it's on you to fight for yourself. The next mistake is focusing on too much on old collections rather than your utilization and payment history. As we go further in today's class, we're going to learn how much utilization impacts your credit score. So what I'm saying is, instead of taking that $500 to pay that collection off that will still remain on your report, you might want to take that $500 and pay your credit card down and watch your score go up. Okay. Next one. Not disputing unauthorized inquiries. Okay. So if you are in a relationship, how does it feel when you see your significant other and somebody likes? Do you like that? Or does it make them look thirsty? You don't want to look thirsty to the bank, okay? You don't want to look thirsty to the bank. So, you don't want to have a lot of inquiries, and if you do have an inquiry, you want to make sure it's tied to an open account. The next, letting late payments slide. We're going to go in depth about late payments as we go further. Like I said, I go through this in great detail in my ebook, so we're going to just breeze on by these. So, who's ever been late on a payment before? Just let me know, because I want to gauge where you guys are at so I can know how much I need to go into detail on the next slide. So how is your credit score calculated? Alrighty. So we got payment history, which is the number one thing that takes up 35%. 35% of your credit score. Next, we have credit utilization. That's what I was talking about before. That is at 30%. We have your length of credit history. They want to see how long you had credit and see how well you've been managing it in that time. Next is credit mix. They want to see how well you do with different types of credit. And then again, last but not least, we have the inquiries, which are at 10%. You don't want to look thirsty. You don't want to look desperate for cash. When it comes to inquiries, think of this. You don't want everybody to know that you went around asking for $1. You don't want to be that person who was sitting around at the lunch table asking, can you borrow $1? Imagine if every time you ask somebody to borrow $1 that was on your shirt and everybody knew it. Don't look thirsty and desperate for cash. That is how inquiries can really impact your score and mess you up. And also, when you have a lot of inquiries and you look desperate like that, they also have to think about how what's the percentage of you actually paying them back? You obviously don't have money now if you're desperately looking for it. So what are the chances of you paying me back? That is what they're thinking about. Okay. So let's talk about payment history. Like I said, that is 35% of your credit score. They want to know, can this person be trusted? What if I asked you for $300 and before I loaned it out, you had a sheet that would show you how likely I was to pay you back? That's essentially what your credit history is. It's like a report card showing if you pay, who you owe, when you say you're going to pay it, and your history about it. So that can make up to 192 points of your score. So on-time payments, on-time payments, on-time payments, on-time payments. One late payment can drop your credit score over 100 points. So, as we buckle down in these 90 days, I need everybody to commit to not missing a payment. And I'm going to tell you a couple strategies you can use to make sure you don't miss a payment. If you know that you're going to be late, you can call and see if you can change your due date. Like, hey, you don't even have to tell them what's going on. Hey, I need to change my due date by a week or a day or two or blah, 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 blah. Change your due date to after you know you're going to have your money in your pocket so you don't have a late payment. If that doesn't help you and you just cannot afford the amount, you need to pick up the phone again and say, hey, that $300 minimum payment that you're asking for is unreasonable right now. I don't got that. Can we lower my minimum payment to XYZ and lower it to something that you can afford? The last tip I have for you is to set up autopay, okay? To set up autopay, and I do have a YouTube video out there that shows you how you can automate your bills and how you can find extra money from your paycheck if you live paycheck to paycheck and you're having a hard time paying your bills off. So if you are one of those people having a hard time paying your bills off and you want to get out of living paycheck to paycheck, drop a comment and I will send you the link to that video to watch. But that's another story. We're going to carry on to the next thing. Credit utilization. It's a max of 165 points. So, like I said before, when you're thinking about paying off those collections, consider if it would be better to pay down your credit cards. Also, let's just throw this out there. Something that I've been hearing a lot about are trade lines. Okay? Trade lines. So a trade line, you can buy it online from different type of suppliers and it will report on your credit report for maybe a week or two. Just to give you a quick boost, you go in, you get approved for what you need to approve for, you leave, the trade line falls off within a month. So why pay $200 plus for a temporary benefit when you can use that same money to pay your cards down? There is no quick way to credit repair. So like I was saying, you can use that same money that you were going to invest in the trade line to just pay your cards down. So those two things that I said are going to be the main things that we need to focus on in our 90-day challenge. Okay, we need to commit to not missing any payments and to make sure we are paying our cards down. So Who here thinks their credit score may have taken a hit because of their credit card balances? If you're a person who feels like your score is just plateaued, it's just not moving, there's nothing I can do about it, you might need to check out your credit utilization. So next we got account age. Maximum 82.5 points. Older accounts show stability, okay? That's just like with a job. They don't want somebody job hopping all around. They want to say, okay, yeah, you come to my bank, you're going to be loyal. You're going to do business with us for at least blah, blah, blah years. So right now the sweet spot is 7 years. So another thing that I want to speak on is student loans. Everybody with a student loan calls and asks me if I can remove it. 9 times out of 10, your student loan is the oldest account on your credit report. So why would you want to remove that? That's gonna really impact your account age. That student loan is probably what's really pulling you up. So unless you have late payments on your student loans, just leave it alone. Just like that. No late payment on a student loan, leave it alone. New credit. I done told y'all about looking thirsty, about looking desperate. Later down the line, or in our series, I'm going to talk about how you can apply for inquiries in one day, and how you can be strategic and block them from the other reports. Because I do understand times come, we is going to need the money, but going forward, you just want to strategically plan. So, at max, it's 55 points. And again, like I said, applying for too much credit in a short time can reduce your points because you look thirsty. Now we're at credit mix. Having a mix of revolving accounts. We're going to talk more about the type of accounts in the next ones. But again, this is essentially showing you know how to manage different types of credit or debt. So I know how to pay my credit cards off. I know how to pay my loans off. I know how to pay my lines of credit off. I even know how to pay my mortgage off. I know how to pay my auto loans off. All those different things. So who thinks they have a good credit mix just by hearing that? Drop a comment for me if you think you got a good credit mix. So now we're going to talk about positive accounts. Okay, so there are 2 types. One is a primary account. So those are the credit cards, which are revolving accounts. Credit cards are called revolving because as you pay it off, the amount that you were lended comes back. So that's why I don't know how to better explain that. Like the amount replenishes itself. So it's revolving. A loan is an installment account because month by month you're paying in installments, and those installments decrease the balance. You're not replenishing the amounts owed like the credit card. So there are different type of loans: auto loans, mortgages, personal loans. The next is authorized user and trade lines. So those are secondary accounts. That's being added to someone else's established credit and giving yourself a boost. So I did mention the trade lines that people have for purchase that are out there, but before you go and buy a trade line, if you have a aunt, a mom, an auntie, a cousin, ask them like, hey, do you mind adding me as an authorized user if you know they have good credit? Emphasis on if you know they have good credit, because you don't want to just go get added to every authorized user account. That is not going to help you. You want to get added to one that matters. So you want to ask one that has no late payments. So if you have a great credit history and you go and get added as an AU to somebody that has a late payment, your score is going to tank because now you're sharing that account. That's not your late payment. So no late payments. You want to make sure the account is at least 5 years old. If it's not at least 5 years old, what's the benefit? You're not getting a lot of history from it. Or it has a big amount. I'm not talking about $500. I'm talking about at least $2,000 and above, $5,000 and above. You really want to make it worth your while. Now, when you ask to be their authorized user, don't ask for their credit card too. You just want the benefit of the history and the reporting. Don't ask for their card. You're just asking them to go online and add you as an AU. So now let's talk about negative accounts, which are also known as derogatory information. So those are public records like bankruptcies, tax liens, judgments, inquiries, late payments, and most commonly collections and charge-offs. So I put a star next to inquiries and late payments. The star next to inquiries are because, like I said, they don't weigh as much as the rest of them, and late payments, as the years progress and go by, the impact of them starts to dwindle down. So let's talk about charge-offs versus collections. Drop something in the comments if somebody ever stole something from you. Drop a comment. I'm sorry if it happened. A charge-off is an opportunity to say, like, hey, this person don't pay their debts back. So I see we have Chris in the comments. So if I gave Chris $5 and he didn't pay me back, and I got the opportunity to tell everyone in the world, hey, don't lend Chris no money because I gave him $5 and he didn't pay me back. So if you're gonna lend him some money, make sure you text him real bad or don't give it to him at all. That's what a charge-off is. That is a bank saying, hey, this person ran off on me. I don't know if you want to get them some money, and if you do, tax them real bad. And when I say tax them real bad, that's when we start talking about interest rates and APRs. That's when you start getting those credit cards in the mail, and you see those interest rates of 50%, 30%, 20%, where you really want to be in the 15 and 16% range. Okay, so once we start seeing more of charge-offs, you'll notice that they are with the original creditor. So that's Chase, that's Bank of America, that's whoever you did business with. Whether it's you have a card at where's that place all y'all got? Victoria's Secret, Marshall's, the place that you did business with. I also want to say, removing a charge-off, again, it doesn't mean you no longer owe the debt. It don't mean that. All it means is no longer reported on your credit report. Okay, so you usually see a charge-off when it's 180 days of missed payments. Once you're usually at the 180-day mark, they're going to go ahead and charge it off. So like I said, it doesn't mean the debt disappears. It just means they decided they're probably not going to get the money from you, so they're writing it off as a loss in their books. The creditor can then try to collect on it themselves, or they can sell it to a third-party collection company or agency, which we're going to talk more about. So charge-offs can remain on your credit report up to 7 years, and they heavily impact your score the first 3 years. So once a debt is charged off, the creditor might sell it to a collection agent. So this third-party company is now trying to collect the debt, and it's usually going to be a lot less than what you originally owed. These also can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. So what we'll notice is once a company charges off your account, you'll start to see it as a zero balance on your credit report, written as charged off. And when a collection account appears, that's where you'll see the balance. And it's kind of like you're getting hit twice. So I do want to say, even if you pay off a collection, that doesn't mean it's automatically going to come off your report. Again, they can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years if you don't do what's called a pay for deletion, or if you don't repair your credit through yourself or through hiring an agency. So now let's talk about FICO versus Vantage score. So FICO is what 90% of the lenders use to make your credit decision. So if you're looking for a mortgage, car loan, or something like that, they're going to be looking at your FICO score. Everything that I'm talking about today is regarding FICO scores because that's the one that matters. So your Vantage score is usually found on free apps like Credit Karma, but lenders don't really look at those to make decisions. So the key difference is a Vantage scoring model can be a little bit more forgiving on late payments. and it does not weigh your credit utilization as heavy as the FICO score does. So that's why you'll start to see when you look on Credit Karma, like, wow, I'm doing amazing. And then you go to a place like Experian and say, okay, maybe I'm not doing too well. It's because the scoring model is not the same. Because just about everyone here said that they wanted some type of loan, we are going to be focusing on the one that matters, which is the FICO score. All righty. So I hope that everyone was able to download log into Identity IQ and pull their credit report. So if you were able to download Identity IQ, drop a comment and let me know. And if you wasn't, let me know so I can know how deep in detail I need to go on analyzing our credit reports. So I do have a dummy report pulled up, but like I said, it's better if you have yours ready too, so we can walk through it together. And we can look at your personal information, your accounts, and any negative marks like those collections and no charge-offs I talked about. The Experian app is okay. The Experian app is just fine. So the reason why I was referring to Identity IQ is because it will give you all three, and once you start disputing, we're really banking on the discrepancy. So it's easier for you to just see all three next to each other instead of logging into Experian, then logging into logging into Equifax, and then logging into TransUnion. But that's fine. We're still going to go through it. So if you can pull up your Experian or whatever you have, let's get into it. So, if you're in Identity IQ, the first thing you're going to see is your credit profile overview. It's just going to break down what you have. And the first thing we're going to see is there differing amounts for the total accounts and the open accounts. And that's because not every not every company reports to every credit reporting agency. Later in the masterclass, we're going to talk about who reports where, especially when it comes to inquiries that you want to hide, or if you are one of those people who has a higher score at one of the bureaus versus the other ones, that's a good secret to know. So everybody doesn't report to everybody. So that's one thing. Next is going to tell you all of your open accounts, all of your closed accounts, your delinquent account. So delinquent means that you have a late payment that needs to be addressed. It's going to tell you about your derogatory account. So again, derogatory information like collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, and you'll even see something that's delinquent counting as derogatory. It's also going to show you how many collections you have, the balances that you owe overall, because your credit utilization is important. And then it's going to tell you the estimate payments that you have each month, as well as your public records, which are bankruptcies and such. And then lastly, the inquiries that you have had in the last 2 years. So that's just the overview for you to see. So once you get the scrolling, you'll start to see your different account types. So you can tell a positive account is positive by one thing. Can you guess? It's because everything is green. Okay, so this would be just a regular account reporting your credit card with no late payments, your loans with no late payments, your lines of credit with no late payments. And these are what's building your score up. So if you really, really want to go hard these next 90 days, check the details of your account to make sure that they're full and accurate. Make sure your credit limit is reporting. Show them how much money that they're giving you. That impacts your credit utilization. So a lot of credit card companies do not list your credit limit at all, but what they'll report is your high credit amount. So that's something that you want to make sure that you're getting checked out. And then also make sure that there are no negative comments or no negative info in the comments. So at a glance, to check out a positive account, you'll know it's positive because you'll see no red, no yellow, or no black in the payment history. Now let's get to our negative accounts. Those would be the collections, the charge-offs that I mentioned earlier. And one thing that will stand out to you when you have a negative account is that you'll see black, red, or yellow. So when you see yellow, those are indications of late payments. Once you see red, those are indications of extreme late payments to the point that your account is about to be charged off soon. Once you see black, that usually means that the account is charged off or sold to collections. And we're looking at the payment history when I say that. So that's down here at the bottom. If they're not reporting the late payment or the payment history, something else you can go through and do is read the account types. So read the account types and it'll tell you. Read the account status. It says derogatory. That'll tell you. You can also look at the comments. It'll say, see, charged off as bad debt. It might say if you have a bankruptcy, debt discharged throughout a bankruptcy. So read the comments, check the account status, and read the account type. And that will help you point out your negative accounts. So lastly, your hard inquiries are located at the bottom. Again, you kind of want to have under 2. So they're located at the bottom. Again, you don't want to look thirsty to the banks. So that is something we're going to talk about. So are you guys ready for the sauce? So can I share with you how I help everybody take their credit score up? So now we finally learned about the fundamentals of credit. I know everybody is ready to get started. I know the event said 7 to 10, but I am not about to keep y'all here all night. I know everybody has things to do, so we're just going to get into it. So before we move on, a couple of disclaimers. I am not an attorney. I am not an attorney. I am here to teach you, but I am not giving legal advice. Secondly, removing items like charge-offs, again, it does not mean you don't owe the debt. It just means it's no longer reporting on your credit report. And lastly, expect some people to reach out to you once you start disputing your items. You just updated your personal information, which means they now know where to find you. So if your phone starts ringing, tell the collection agencies to send you stuff in the mail. And once you do, I need you to save those letters because I have a strategy to remove your collections from your credit report and get them to stop calling you in under a week. So if you get anything in the mail from the collections agencies or you got something in the mail right now, drop a comment, let me know, and I'll send you what you need to do as soon as we get off this call. So, the very first thing we need to do when we repair our credit is to figure out who is telling our business. Who is telling our business? So, we have places called secondary bureaus. So, what we've recently uncovered is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian are the big 3. They're getting their information from other people. Imagine that they're the parents and they got the kids reporting what to do every day. The biggest tattletale out there is LexisNexis. If you have a bankruptcy, LexisNexis is your watchful spirit that is holding you down. Innovis is the next big one. And then we have Clarity. If you're somebody with a lot of inquiries, Clarity is the one telling your business. If you're somebody with multiple charge-offs, Innovis is who's telling your business. And then next, we have these places. So we're going to put a pin in this so I can make it through the PowerPoint slides. But after we go through the PowerPoint slides, I will show you how to pull up each of these places and tell them to stop, how to keep them out your business and how to keep them keep them from talking to each other. So essentially what we'll be doing is freezing our credit information with these secondary bureaus. So a credit freeze is not a bad thing. All it's saying is, I don't want nobody talking about my credit information, looking at my credit information, or sharing my credit information without my say so because it's mine. You have that right. So as we start disputing this information, the negative information on your credit reports, if these bureaus can't talk to each other, how they gonna verify it? Just sit and think about that. If they can't talk to each other, how they gonna verify it? Okay, sure, they'll have to reach out to the creditors or whatever, but they're also racing against the clock. And I got something for that too. So stay tuned. So the very first thing we want to do, like I said, we're going to look at who's telling our business and we're going to freeze them out. After that, we're going to log in online with the big three. So if you don't have a free account with the big three, I'm going to show you how you can make a free account. And if you already do have a free account, I'm going to show you how you can go in and dispute your personal information. So when it comes to online disputing, it's only okay. It's only okay for personal information. That's it. Nothing else. Once you dispute your personal information online with the big three, you'll usually see results that same day. Okay? So, what is personal information? That is your name, your phone number, your address, your social security number, your birthday. And you're probably thinking, what does that got to do with my credit score? It doesn't directly impact your credit score at all. However, when it comes to these negative accounts that we want removed, that can be used to verify you to that account. So how you gonna say this account isn't yours, but this address matches the address on your credit report matches the address on this credit application? So it's yours. So that's a way that your personal information can actually hurt you. So that is why it's essential that one of the first things that you do is remove all of your old, outdated information. So again, you're going to go online with the big three. You're going to dispute it directly there. And I'm going to show you how to do that once we wrap up this PowerPoint. You usually get your results the same day. If you don't get results the same day, I have a letter that I'm going to share with you guys that you can print off. It's this simple. What you're going to say is just like this, and I want you to spell it out. Number one, my name is D Rich. My only address is 123 Sesame Street. My only social security number is 123456789. My only date of birth is today. And then underneath that, you're going to say the information below is not mine, deleted. And you're going to paste all of the incorrect names, the incorrect phone numbers, and the incorrect addresses. Then you're going to attach a picture of your ID and a picture of something that has your social security number. So that can be your social security card or that could be your W-2. When it comes to your ID, you want to make sure that your ID address is the address that you're saying my only address is. If not, in substitution of your ID, you can use a utility bill that has been issued within the last 90 days. So, after that, we're going to prepare the trap. So, now we're going to go over the credit tracker, okay? So, drop a comment if you have already downloaded the credit tracker. So at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys the letter that you have to send out to the credit agencies to get all your information removed. But if and only if you already downloaded the credit tracker. I'm also going to show you where you can get discounted stamps if you want to send them out via mail. You can always send out your letters online through different online mail services, but just keep in mind, you don't know what day they're going to send it out. You don't know what type of envelope they're going to send it in, and you don't want your disputes to be stalled, or you don't want them to get rejected because it looks like you're a credit repair company. Okay, so like I said, the very first thing you want to do is to get everybody out your business. So one of the first places is Innovis.com. So once you go to Innovis.com, the very first thing you want to do is click on Order My Credit Report. So you fill this information in. It's going to give you a code sent to you, and once you put that in, you'll be able to pull your credit report online. So I strongly encourage you, when you pull your credit report, to click on the three dots, click on Print. And once you click print, you want to save it as a PDF. Once you save it as a PDF, you'll be able to look at it on your computer later, just in case you don't want to open it up again. So once you do that and look at your account, you can click on here at the top where it says Personal Solutions. And you're going to go down to where it says Security Freeze. Once you go here, you're going to click on Security Request Online Form. So this is super simple and easy. You'll fill all of this information out, and that is how you freeze your information with Innovis. So that's how you tell them, like, all right, Innovis, your days of telling my business is over. Now let's go to the biggest snitch. LexisNexis. If you have a bankruptcy, or even if you've been in a car accident, anybody been in a car accident lately, or better yet, even if you haven't been in a car accident, if you got a ticket, right now, drop a comment. Because I'm telling you, if you have a ticket right now and you're having a hard time getting a low car insurance rate, it's because of LexisNexis. When you go and you pull your LexisNexis report, your jaw is gonna drop to see how deep these people got their knees and their elbows in your business. So we're gonna stop that. So once you go to the LexisNexis site, you're gonna go to the online request form. You're gonna fill that out and click on Request Your Consumer Disclosure Report. Request a description of procedure letter, and you're going to fill out all your information. After that, you're going to go up here to security freeze and then request a security freeze online for yourself. It's still loading up for some reason. However, with LexisNexis, like I said, it's really important when it comes to personal information, bankruptcies, and even car insurance rates. So once you you get your LexisNexis report, you're gonna see it's probably gonna literally be 100 pages, and it'll show you all your old addresses. So if you're having a hard time getting your personal information removed once you dispute it online, it's probably because LexisNexis is still reporting it. So you'll see that information there. You'll also get what's called your clue report. Your clue report is going to show every single type of car insurance you ever had in your life. And it's also going to talk about any type of car accident you ever been in. And it's probably why your insurance rates are high. So after you do those two things, you're going to go to their opt-out form. So I'm just going to search opt-out.lexisnexis. And you're going to fill this one out as well. And it's super simple. So all you're going to say is, I don't want my information shared. Stop telling. The end. The next one we're going to do online is called Clarity. So with them, you're going to first go here and get your free security freeze. Place a security freeze, add in all your information. So once you place your security freeze with Clarity, it's going to tell you your freeze pin. If you get rejected with Clarity, it's 9 times out of 10 your address. So if you get rejected with Clarity, just go in and add in your old address, and you should go ahead and get your security pin after that. So after you do these online, this is when your biggest mailstorm will come in. You have to freeze it with the rest of the places. So we're going to talk about that now. I'm going to drop this Clarity link in here for you. Go ahead. After you request your freeze, you're going to go back and go back again and get your actual Clarity report. Access your Clarity report. Use whatever address worked for you. And that's how you get it. And again, you want to save it as a PDF. This is also probably what's keeping your inquiries with you and keeping your personal information. So now we're going to talk about this credit tracker, and then we're going to do some Q&A. So the coolest thing about this credit tracker is once you pull your credit report, you'll go ahead and put in your scores. You can open up each of these as a page and just add in what you're saying or what's working with each bureau. The day that you pull your score, you can pick the day under latest score. And once you drag it down, it's going to let you know when your new score is available. And you'll also get a reminder on your phone or in your app to go and refresh your credit score. When you go out and send your letters, you can do the same thing. And it's going to send you a reminder of when it's time to send the next letters. So I strongly encourage you to go and fill out each of these things as well as your credit usage and your inquiries so you can monitor and track your progress as we go. So these are the remaining places of the people who's been telling your business. I've already created a nice area for you to track your security freezes. Once you freeze your credit, like I said, you're the only person that can access your information. Everybody else is going to need permission unless you unfreeze your credit. Unfreezing your credit is really simple. You don't have to do it with these smaller places. I just recommend going online to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion and unfreezing. It's a click of a button. For everywhere else, they're going to send you a PIN. So this is where you can compile your PIN just in case you have to call these people to unfreeze your credit. And calling is the fastest way to unfreeze with these people. Now, when it comes to your personal information, like I said, when you log online to these three places and you see your personal information, what you dispute online that doesn't fall off, you can paste it under here just to track what needs to be deleted. So we're going to talk about viewing all of our accounts. This is where you're going to add in the negative information that we found on your credit report. The cool thing about this is as you add in your positive accounts and you start adding in your due dates and your pay dates, it's going to populate here on your calendar to let you know what date your bill is due and the best date you need to pay it down. So let's look at view all our accounts. Again, this credit tracker is completely free and you can download it at any time in Notion. So just click on here. Like I said, you'll add in the name of your account, how much you owe, and your limit is going to automatically calculate your utilization so that we can make sure that you're staying under 30%. Once you add in your close and your due date, so you'll start to see it on that calendar that was on the main page. Adding in your negative information, you want to add in the account name. So whether it's Chase, the account number, the balance owed, and then the account type, whether it's an inquiry, collection, charge off, late payment, or whatever. The bureau that it's reporting to, because everybody doesn't go everywhere, whether it's open or closed, and if it's in dispute, and then ultimately if we delete it, which is the ultimate goal. Another cool thing is you can open these pages and you can start pasting in little notes about each account. So as we go into the next class and we talk about the inaccuracies that we see, this is where you can go ahead and put some of that information. This is where you put the inquiries. This is where you'll see all your items and disputes, your late payments, and then everything that got deleted. Once everybody downloads the tracker, and you just send me a screenshot. Just send me a screenshot of your accounts filled in. You don't even have to show me your account numbers. And I will send you back the first letter that needs to go out for what I said, preparing the trap. All right, so next week, like I said, we're going to be going in to learn how to actually find discrepancies in your report. And then we're going to be talking about the various ways that you can build your credit. So, who paid their rent this month? If you paid your rent this month, I will be telling you how you can use that to build your credit history for however long you've been staying at your residence, and how you can establish a better credit history. So next week we will not be on, I'm sorry, not next week, but the next class. So that is in 2 weeks. We won't be on Facebook. We won't be on Instagram. We'll be on Google Meet. I'm going to send out a link for that for everybody to go through. I'm also looking for 2 volunteers. So 2 volunteers that wouldn't mind me using their account to help others spot inaccuracies on their credit report. So your personal information will be hidden. All we'll be looking at is the actual account information. Like I said, once you guys send me your screenshot showing that you filled out your negative accounts and your credit tracker, I'll send you the letter that goes out this week. And then when we meet again in the next class, we'll be sending out the second letter that knocks out the accounts in 10 days. And then again, like I said, we'll be talking about credit rebuilding. So overall, get your score to a 750 or higher. You need to make on-time payments. Pay all your bills on time, every time, no exceptions. Keep your credit utilization low. Sorry about that. Limit new inquiries. Don't look thirsty. Monitor your account for discrepancies, which I'm going to show you how to find. And then maintain a long-term credit relationship. So this wraps up day one, class number one. Does anybody have any questions?